Hello and welcome to the morning vibe session of Career Counseling Online. I'm Sanjay here, and we are talking about what leaders should do. So, when you're a leader, how do you ensure that every project that you work on, or every assignment that you're working on, or maybe the department which is assigned to you, you are always successful in delivering the project, in meeting the deadlines, and in running the department? See, leaders find it very difficult many a times to align their team to the vision and mission of the organization. Many a times, deadlines and service level agreements are not met simply because the leader wanted something to be done within certain time or within certain framework, but the team had been working on a complete different way, a different direction altogether. So by the time the leader reaches north, the whole team has reached south. Now that is not going to help. So what are those things which a leader can do to ensure that every time he is successful in delivering what is being assigned to him, or what is the project which is working on, or the department he runs smoothly with harmony and in sync with the organization vision and mission? See, the first thing is, many a times when a new project or a new assignment is handed over to the leader, he immediately starts working on it. He immediately delegates certain part of the project to certain responsible people, and suddenly starts working on the core things that has to be worked upon. Now many times such happens that the team or the member does not have a complete idea as to what the project is all about, what is the kind of priority which are attached to this project, what is the kind of impact the project is going to have on the business, what is the kind of technical issues that might arise along path working on the project. So many a times we have found that there is an immense gap between what was conveyed to the subordinates or the team members and what the leader is working in terms of the project. Many times that happens. So what is the way to avoid that? See, before starting of a project or before starting of an assignment, the leader needs to meet up with the team. He needs to mention the nitty-gritty about the project, the impact of the project, the importance of the project, and the various fields or scope wherein his teams can code and contribute. Now this contribution has to be in alignment with the skill sets of his team members. If a team member is not technically savvy or technically comfortable with a certain aspect of the project, assigning him and asking him to get it done will not yield good results. Many times that happens. Under the pressure, under the importance, under the rush of the project, the subordinate says yes, accepts the work, and yet he faces problem, he lacks it, and yet he does not report it to the leader. He is under the impression if he mentions this difficulty as being faced, he would be judged, his performance would be judged, and he would be questioned. Now, if it is in the beginning of the project, still it can be controlled. Now, think of a scenario wherein the subordinate or the team member has understood a complete different aspect of the project, has a different idea about the whole project, and is working on a different line which is nowhere close to what is being expected by the leader, by the heads, or by the business. It's a wastage of manpower, it's a wastage of resource, it's a wastage of the effort, it's a wastage of all the thought process which goes in. Not only it delays the process, it ensures that there is defect, and a defect will obviously make the project deviate from the expected result. So in such a situation, what majorly happens is the project fails. And when the project fails, not only the subordinates are being accused of the failure, but the leader is also. It could have been easily avoided if the leader have sought out the parts of the project, the impact of the project, the importance of the project, and the scope of contribution, if he would have discussed it with his team, when he opens this up, he might ask his team members as to how they feel they could contribute towards the success of the project. So, according to their own skill sets, people might come ahead and suggest and get involved. What that also does is it gives a feeling of involvement among the subordinates. They also understand that things are not dumped upon us, things are discussed, we participate in it, and we are in this together. We are working on this together. It is not something which is being assigned, it is something that we got assigned on ourselves. That motivates the team, that drives the team, and that builds a coordination among the team as to everybody contributes towards the success of the project, everybody plays their bigger or smaller part, and ultimately the project is successful. Ultimately the leader is being appreciated of getting the project done or delivered. Now when that happens, the subordinates are also respected, they are also included in the success. So a leader, before start of a project, before start of an assignment or a consignment which has been given to him or her, they need to discuss it with their team members. They need to put it on the open platform. They need to, because the team might give you those questions which you might need to put in front of the management. The kind of challenges that might arise, your team members might be able to show you, which you might have overlooked. Your team members might be able to give you suggestions as to these are the things which are required. These are the technical difficulties. These are the technological support which is required to get the project done and delivered, which you might not have considered when the project was assigned to you. So involving your team into the discussion before the start of the project ensures that the project runs successfully and is completed successfully. Now with that, comes the fact, as a leader, when you understood the importance of the project, the impact of the project, the nitty-gritty of the project, you need to break it up into small assignments. You need to break it up into small contributors, wherein you can assign various team members as per their skill sets. You as a leader need to show the path. You don't need to walk the path. Now there is a lot of difference. Many a times, due to the urgency, importance, or the impact of the project, many leaders put everything upon their own shoulder. They try to work on the project all by themselves or involving minimum resources, fearing failure. Now when that happens, you become the single point of contact. The pressure builds upon you, and you as a department head or the organization head, you will have similar projects of similar importance or higher importance coming up to you or being assigned to you. Now when you are looking into multiple projects, multiple assignments, it is never possible to give you 100% to each and every project. You need to learn to do the micromanagement, to break the whole thing into smaller assignments and assign it to the members according to their skill sets. You as a team leader, you as a director, you as a head of the organization, you simply have to monitor and accumulate all this individual contribution and put together as a cumulative effort. But that doesn't mean that you need to walk upon the same path. You do the job. Being a leader, you need to understand it's not about you being the rock star. It's about you driving others so that they could connect to their true potential and deliver. You as a leader need to create the next level leaders. I keep on mentioning this. You need to show the path. The people who are eager to learn, the people who are eager to contribute, they have it in their mind. They are waiting for that path to be shown. When they are working on that path, you need to just monitor them. You need to walk along. But you don't need to show them how to walk, where to walk. Many a times the leaders are afraid that it might delay the procedure. This is an urgency, let me work on it. But you never know. The very next day, more priority case might arrive and this might go a bit down. You might overlook. And when that happens, this piles up into something which you might not be able to control. But now when you as a leader have broken the complete assignment into small assignments and assigned it to your team members, when they work, it's like a spoke and hub theory. Not a single individual spoke is responsible for the movement. Not a single hub is responsible for the support of the wheel. The spoke and hub model is such that everybody is complementing everybody's effort. So you as a leader need to show them the path but not walk on it. You need to guide them as to what needs to be done, not how what needs to be done. You need to say this needs to be done, but not how it needs to be done, because that is why they are hired for. If you have hired a resource against his skill sets, it means that he is capable enough to deliver what is being assigned. If you have to tell him to do how to do it, why the resource is there? It is a big question on his accountability, on your accountability, on his presence in the organization and your judgment. You simply need to guide the person. You need to simply say this needs to be done. He or she gets it done, and you need to monitor the end result. You need to show your judgment about what they have done, give the feedback from time to time, and keep them aligned. With that comes the third point as to do not lose focus when you are a leader. Many a times when you are working on multiple projects and you have assigned work to multiple members, you tend to lose focus. Not only you tend to lose focus, many a times it's because of the understanding gap. Your subordinates might lose the focus from the vision or the mission with which the project has been assigned to that particular department. They might not get the complete idea, or they might have thought of something. They might have a vague idea. They might have made up some ideas, and they might be working according to that line of action. If you leave them by just showing them the path, that is not going to be enough, because by the time you reach north, your team has reached south. So along with showing them the path to walk and not how to walk, you need to also mention and be present with them. Be along with them. Monitor them. Monitor their result. And keep on refocusing onto the vision and mission and the impact of the project. You need to be in focus to have their focus realigned. If they are having a deviation, in their thought process, a deviated way of understanding, a difference of opinion, you need to work on it. You need to bring them back on that path and again make them walk on it. Not you take everything on you and you start working on it. No. That way your team never grows. That way your burden, your workload never decreases. That way your team never learns. And we have mentioned in a couple of videos, the salary hike, the perks, the employee stock option and everything other is not going to inspire your employees to stay there. It might motivate them, but it will not inspire them. And organizations has to consider the spiritual quotient of the employees for a prolonged success. It's a call of the higher purpose. And when the higher purpose is learning and contributing, if you do all the job of your employees, neither they learn, neither they grow. So in search of growth, they might leave the organization, again giving rise to the impulse of attrition. So you need to be in focus, help them refocus onto the objective of the project, onto the work assigned and the impact, the deadlines and the time frame within which they have to deliver. Now this is the part of working. What if the project fails? Then you need to be with your team, be accountable just with your team because they have worked along with you. You cannot dump that accountability and start accusing your team members that you are incapable. That is the reason Even we never assign you any work or such thing. You are a leader. You were supposed to show them the right path to walk. Because if that is the path which you have decided to take towards the success of the project, that means that you were focused. Today, if they are focused because they were out of focus, is because you never were into focus. You never understood the project better. You never understood the nitty-gritty or the impact or the kind of priority of the product. If you would understood it all correctly, you would have shown them the right path towards the success of the project. Even for unforeseen conditions, if the project fails, be accountable. Stand with your team. That is how they are growing. That is how they are learning, by observing, to be accountable, not shifting responsibility from one shoulder to another. And when the project is successful, please remember to celebrate along with your team. Recognize their contribution, appreciate their effort, reward their good inputs, reward for the extra hard work they have done. It does not always have to be high rewards in parks and so on. Even sitting out with a cup of good coffee and appreciating them, that it's because of you guys this project is being so successful. We have been appreciated by the board of managers and the project is running successfully. We are going to land up into more better projects in the next couple of quarters. This simple recognition is more than what your employees or subordinates are asking for. So please remember to celebrate with your team and stand by your team even when the project fails. So these are the 4 points which the leaders needs to keep in mind when they are leading a team. With that note today, I sign off from the Morning Vibe session. Take care, stay home, stay safe. And as I always mention, learn, contribute, and evolve. Have a wonderful weekend.